Start lying on your back, get comfortable, and make sure there's a little bit of space under the low back. Just take a couple breaths to get settled in, bringing one hand onto the chest and one onto your belly. Feel the breath move into your tummy and chest as you breathe in. And feel the body sink down as you breathe out. Connect to your core like you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Feeling your spine gently tightening towards you. Bring a ball or a folded pillow between the thighs. And now as you breathe out, gently squeeze into the ball, firing your core and the inner thighs, but keeping the glutes relaxed. We'll do 8 of these. Make sure your low back stays in neutral. Shoulders and head are relaxed onto the mat with the ribs gently tucked in. Try and keep your glutes relaxed as you squeeze the ball. Good job. Take the ball out and bring the feet together. Breathe in as you open your knees out to the side. And exhale. Bring the legs back together. Inhale to open the legs. And exhale, connect to your core and inner thighs as the legs move together. Two more. And last one. Now try one side at a time. Make sure your pelvis stays level. You can place your fingers on the top of your hip bones to help keep your body aware of what's moving and what's staying stable. Use your core and the inner thigh on the still leg to help keep your pelvis level. One more to each side. And last one. Good job. We'll come into marching. Inhale to lift your knee up towards the ceiling and tabletop, keeping the spine in neutral. So that small space under the low back stays. Exhale to lower the leg. Change sides each time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more to each side. Bring both legs into tabletop, knees slightly closer than the hips, and the heels slightly higher than the knees. And we're going to come into toe taps. Breathe in and exhale to lower the toes down. Inhale to lift back up. Gently tuck the tailbone so that the low back is flat against the mat. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. You should feel your low core working to keep the ribs and pelvis connected. Last one to each side. Good job. Lower the toes down one at a time. Bring your hands behind your head. We're going to come into some curl ups. The feet are down level, hip width apart. Sometimes it's easier to connect to the core with something between the thighs to help the inner thighs help you get more core connection. So I'm going to do that, but you don't have to. Inhale to prepare and exhale to gently tuck the chin and curl your spine up, looking through the thighs. Keep the chin tucked the whole time and relax your head into your arms. The low back should stay neutral as you lift your spine. So you don't want to tuck and press the low back into the mat. Instead, you want to keep that tiny bit of space under that. Exhale to lift, blowing out through pursed lips. Inhale to lower. You want to feel your abdominals and not your hip flexors. So check that those muscles at the front of the hip are soft and you can wiggle them. If you struggle with that, elevating your feet up onto a couple of yoga blocks or a foam roller or something so they're a bit higher can be really helpful. We'll do 2 more. Keep the chin and head supported in the arms. Good job. Bring the hands down. We're going to come into some bridges. So breathe in, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, pubic bone to the hips, towards your ribs, and then lift your hips up into the air, into a bridge. Make sure your ribs aren't poking towards the ceiling, but are relaxed down. Inhale to lower. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and lift the hips. Make sure your feet stay grounded, keeping weight through the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the middle of the heel as you lift up and down. Imagine your hip joint is a book, opening as you lift the hips up and closing as you come back down. You should feel your glutes. If you're struggling, give them a little bit of a squeeze with your hands to help the brain find them. We'll do 2 more like that. Think about pulling your weight over the legs, reaching the knees away from you and the heels towards your bum. Pause at the top, drop your ribs, and squeeze the ball. We'll do 8 of these. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, relax. Feel your core, glutes, inner thighs, and possibly hamstrings. You can gently press into the mat to help you keep up, but keep the shoulders and face and neck relaxed. You're pushing through the back of the arm, the tricep. Last one. And then we're going to lower down to a hover and lift back up. Go a little bit faster. Think about squeezing those glutes to lift you and relaxing. Keep those ribs connected. Tail is tucked the whole time. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And come all the way back down. Take your ball out. Bring the legs into tabletop again. And this time we're going to curl up in tabletop. So exhale, lift. This time your lower back will be flat against the mat. Curl into a little ball. Inhale to lower. Exhale, curl. 6 more. Make sure you're using both sides of your abs, not favoring one side. Head is supported with the chin tucked. 2 more. Good job. Stay in your curl. Lower one toe down towards the floor and alternate. Good job. 4 more. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Good job. Lower everything down. Take a rest. Good job. So for my version, I'm going to use some 5-pound weights. You could also use 1-pound weights, 2-pound weights, or no weights at all. So I've got 2 5-pound dumbbells. You could also use a bottle of olive oil in each hand, or a bottle of water if you don't have any dumbbells. Just work with what you've got. Get your spine into neutral again, so a little bit of space under that lumbar spine for a beam of light to shine through. Ribs are heavy. The arms are going to come up above your shoulders. Head is relaxed, gently tucked in at the chin, and feet are just hip width apart. Inhale to reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale to lower those shoulder blades back down. So goal is to move your shoulder blades up and down. And you should feel them gently hugging around the sides of the rib cage and then sinking back down towards the mat. Inhale to lift. Now try and reach through that pinky line, so it's activating serratus, a muscle in your armpit on the side of the ribs, and not the pec at the front. You might feel a bit of pec, but we certainly don't want it on its own without that muscle on the side of the ribs. 2 more like this. Keep the collarbones wide the whole time. Good job. And then we're going to inhale to come back behind you, and exhale, coming forwards. Just going to shuffle down a bit because I'm too close. Inhale to come back, keeping control of the arms. The ribs don't flare, they stay connected to the mat. Exhale back to center. Inhale back. Think about that connection between those hip bones at the front of your pelvis and your ribs, and keep that distance the same as those arms come behind you. We don't want to flare those ribs up. Good job. 2 more. Go as far back as you can control. Last one. Good job. Keep those arms up, collarbones still wide. You can feel the shoulder blades on the floor. Inhale to open the arms out to the sides. Grip is soft. Exhale back to center. Feel your pecs and biceps at the front of the upper arm lengthen as you come down, and gently shorten as you come back to center. Those collarbones stay wide the whole time. We don't close the chest to bring the arms in. Inhale to open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good job. 2 more like that. Last one. Good job. I'm also going to do a little chest press here. So again, if you want to use a heavier weight, you can. I like 5 pounds or 2 pounds. I find that's a good weight for most people to work with their stabilizers. So we're inhaling to bend those elbows wide. Exhale, gently press towards the ceiling. And notice how your shoulders might move a bit differently. And that's okay. We have quite a lot of asymmetry in our shoulders because we're one hand dominant. And that's fine. Good job. Last 2 here. Feel those triceps, a little bit of pec. Last one. Really nice. Okay. We'll put our weights off to the side. And we're going to do one last exercise here for our core. This one's very much for our obliques. It's quite difficult, so feel free to skip this if you're kind of newer to Pilates. So we're going to do bicycles. You're going to bring the legs back into tabletop and curl yourself up. And as a little bit of preparation, we're going to take your right hand and press it against your left thigh. Keep the head supported in the left hand and just press the thigh into the hand and the hand into the thigh. And you'll feel your core and obliques engage. Just hold that for 2 breaths. We should be shaking. Good job. Change sides. Right hand supports the head. Left hand comes against the right thigh. Press the thigh into hand, hand into thigh, and breathe. Use your core. Good job. Okay, take a second. So obliques are awake, hopefully. So now we're going to curl ourselves up and come into our bicycle. So we rotate to the right with the upper body and stretch the left leg away. Back to center. Rotate to the left, right leg stretches away. Your abdominals should not be doming. If they are, you might want to sit this one out. Keep your chin tucked. The slower you go, the more endurance it is. You can see I'm getting tired. Good job. Feel your obliques and abdominals working. Last one. Good job. Take a break. Oh, well done. So after all of that flexion work, that curling work, we want to do some extension. So I'm going to take your ball, or if you don't have a ball but you do have a foam roller, then you can also use a foam roller. If you have nothing, grab a few rolled up towels, hand towels, maybe 3, and place them under your shoulder blades. If you're on the towel, you just want to bring your hands up overhead, but if you have a ball or a foam roller, place it under those shoulder blades. And if it doesn't feel like it's quite in the right level, just feel free to move it. Inhale to stretch back over that ball, opening the front of the chest and that upper spine. And exhale just to curl up a little ways. Inhale, coming down, stretching up. Good job. And this is a passive because we're kind of just letting gravity do the work into that backwards motion. But the next move we're going to do, we're going to line our tummy and do it actively to strengthen the back. Good job. Well done. One more here. Feel free to move the level of your spine that you're working into. Good job. We'll place the ball out the way. So we're really awake through our core line now. Okay. So we want to wake up the back line. So we'll come onto your tummy and just have the elbows bent in. Stretch your legs out and away from you, finding a bit more space in your SI joints there. And just start with the head resting down on your mat, gentle chin tuck. Just start with just floating that head off, keeping the chin tucked. And feel how it's quite a lot of work in your neck stabilizers. See if you can keep the glutes and legs relaxed as you do that. Lower back down. This time, imagine there's a pencil just above your nose. And as you breathe in, you just roll that pencil away and follow with the shoulders and chest peeling away from the mat. Exhale to lower. Now as you do this, you want to keep that tail tucked, so pubic bone is pushing into your mat. And you can use your hands and pull them down towards your feet to help you lengthen and get more traction in that upper spine, where most of us are quite stiff. Inhale, lengthen. Don't worry if you feel your back working. Those muscles need to work to lift us, but it shouldn't feel compressive. Okay, it shouldn't feel like you're pinching through the low spine. Inhale to lift. Think about lengthening. See if you can get even longer. Really reach the head away. Make sure you're not really extending or hinging into the back of your neck like this. You want to keep the chin slightly tucked. 2 more. Exhale to lower. Last one. Remember, keep the legs relaxed. Good job. Well done. So we're going to do a couple of swans where we come all the way up. Now, you want to avoid this if you have low back pain where it hurts to bend back, okay? So just sit this one out if that's you. Maybe press back into child's pose. If you're with me, hands come a little lower. Inhale, lift yourself with your spine muscles as much as you can, and then once you kind of get to your limit, gently press into your hands. Keep the core engaged. Keep gently tucking the tail, pressing pubic bone down, and lift all the way up and lower down. And for some people, this is a lovely stretch through the abdominals and the front of the hips. Good job. Let's do 2 more like that, if you're with me. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but if it feels okay, you don't feel that compression, then there's no reason not to. Our spines need extension just as much as they need flexion. Good job. Okay, so if you're using 1 or 2 pounds, you might want to use them for this next exercise. I personally can't do it with 5 pounds, so I'm not going to. Okay, so now we're going to come into our I's, Y's and T's. So make sure you've got enough room for your arms above you. Legs are relaxed. So like you're a Y shape, like you're an I shape, so arms quite narrow, kind of shoulder width, so not too narrow, but they're kind of straight up ahead of you. You're going to lift with the thumb facing towards the ceiling and head resting on the floor. Pop a towel under your forehead if you need more space. Lift those arms up. Feel your shoulder blades lifting, the weight of the arms. You will feel your upper traps lifting, part of their job. Good job, and just steady breathing. Last 2. Good job. Come to a Y, so a little bit wider now, like you're a big Y. And same thing. We're going to do 8 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. I'm going to challenge myself with my weights for the last ones. So, in a T shape now, so hands stretched out, about reaching your shoulder blades away from each other as you lift. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Whew, that was hard. So hands down by your sides now. Just squeeze your shoulder blades together and relax. Good job. 6 more. Nice. Feel them coming towards each other. Not back and down, but towards each other. Head can be wherever. Last 2. Last 1. Oh, good job. Okay, I'm just going to check my time. We're nearly done. So we'll come and press back into child's pose. Stretch everything out. These can be wide or narrow, whatever's good for you. Just breathe into the low back, the shoulders. Good job. Okay, so we're going to do some glute med work. So we'll come and lie on your side. If you have a band, you can take a TheraBand and tie it together, or take a loop if you have one. But again, you don't need it. And you're going to come and lie down on your side. If you'd like to use a pillow, go for it. I often do, or a yoga block. And then it's nice to have something under your waist as well, if you want to. It helps support you into neutral, so it can be really helpful for some of us if we're kind of new to these exercises, or if they're just a bit challenging. Bring your hip forward a little bit on the top, okay, so that it's kind of slightly further forward than the back one. And then pop your hand there to help keep you level. Now I hate these exercises, so we're not going to do a lot. You're going to exhale to lift up. Good job. Back down. Well done. So we're using our glute med to lift us. So it's that muscle on the side of your butt. Okay, the feet and heels stay together. And you can see I can't get very far. It's not a big movement. And we certainly don't want to spin our pelvis back. So really keep your belly button facing on a diagonal down towards the floor. And with this exercise in particular, you really do have to be strict with yourself to make sure that you're using the right muscle. So it is worth popping yourself in front of a mirror, or sometimes I'll place something behind me like a water bottle so that I don't rock back to check myself. Good job. Last 2. And last 1. Good job. Take a break. And then we're going to come into a reverse clamshell. So the band won't be doing anything, but you're going to pop your knees together and lift the heels away from each other. Good job. Band isn't providing any resistance. You can pop it around your ankles if you want that resistance. I'm not going to use it today. So working that hip into inward rotation is really good for it. A lot of us lack a bit of range here. So it's going to work it into here. Good job. And again, make sure your form is good. So ribs are relaxed back. We're not shifting at our waist, staying long through there. Just moving through that hip joint. Last one. Good job. Okay, that was great. Let's come and turn around. So get yourself settled. Again, use a pillow if you need it. Doesn't change the exercise very much, so use it if it makes you more comfortable, right? There's no point punishing ourselves. Hand onto the side of the hip and lifting that knee up and down. Keep your pelvis level. This is my weaker side, so I have to be even more strict with myself to make sure you use the right muscle. Remember, feet stay together. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back down. Keep your ribs back. Often we'll flare them forward to kind of keep ourselves more stable without using the core. To see if you can use your core instead. Just go as far as you can without tipping at your pelvis. If you've got less range, that's okay. Good job. 2 more. Well done. And then we'll lift that heel up and down. Need a bit more space. Good job. Again, pelvis stays. Still, we're just moving through that hip joint. Doesn't matter what the foot's doing, as long as you're moving through that hip. Keep a little bit of space under that waist on the bottom side. And try and relax the rest of your body. Just using a little bit of core and those hip rotators. Might feel them working kind of around the sit bone. Good job. And the last one here. Really good. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're nearly done. Okay. So we'll finish with crossing one leg over the other into your figure 4. And if you want to hug that knee in, you can. You don't have to. If you already feel a stretch, then just stay there. And it should feel like a mild to moderate stretch. It doesn't need to be strong. And then just use your breath to really breathe into that muscle. Just relax. We'll change sides. Crossing over the knee, and then if you want to hug it in, you can. Don't have to. One side might feel different than the other, that's okay. Just breathe into it. Send that breath into those sit bones, into the pelvic floor, those glutes, let everything soften. Good job. You can hug your knees in towards you. Just give your low back a little bit of a massage on your mat by rocking those knees if it doesn't pinch the hips. Good. Let those legs come out to the side, feet together. Let gravity give you a bit of an inner thigh stretch. And just letting go with your breath, really calming yourself down after working out. Just because it's those small muscles doesn't mean I might not feel it tomorrow. So you still need to bring our nervous system back into that calm state after exercising. Good job. And then just rock your knees over to one side, get a bit of a stretch through the waist. The hip can lift off, as you can see, but try and keep your shoulder down and just breathe into that. Same to the other side, stretch those legs over. Find space in your waist, keep the shoulder down, but the hip can lift, and breathe into it. Lovely. Okay, we're all done. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day.